We turn now to the passing of TV legend and groundbreaking producer Norman Lear.
Talk about a legend. He is being celebrated and remembered for leaving a lasting mark with classic shows like The Jeffersons, Good Times, and The Facts of Life, and the list goes on and on. Let's bring in ABC News contributors Chris Connelly and Mike Muse. Gentlemen, it is good to see you both. Unfortunately, under this situation, but a legacy he leaves behind. And Chris, we'll start with you. You've been covering Hollywood for quite some time. Talk about his legacy.
You know, there are some people you need to look at a statue to find their legacy or look at a plaque in a museum. If you're looking for Norman Lear's legacy, look around. It's everywhere. There isn't a show on primetime television. There isn't a show on television of any kind, including this one, that hasn't somehow been affected by what Norman Lear did for TV in the 1970s. In terms of a combination of tackling hot-button issues with heart, bringing comedy and candor. He did things that television networks up to that point were afraid to do, and they were wildly successful shows. His legacy continues because every show on TV now has something to do with something Norman Lear did years ago.
Yeah, an indelible imprint for sure. And Mike, Lear really changed the face of TV and highlighted a polarized America. His character, Archie Bunker in All in the Family, really showed for the first time someone with deep prejudice. But it resonated here in America. Why do you think that is?
It did because it was counter-programming. At that time, television was just like feel-good programming. There wasn't much conflict between characters that displayed social issues. And the genius of Norman Lear was that he had the ability to use social constructs through pop culture. He had a way to hold up a mirror to society and make us ask questions. And particularly with Archie Bunker and that one, who is known as his prejudiced individuals. If you think about it, we're around the holiday time periods now. Families are getting together for dinner. We all have that one family member who says prejudiced, bigoted things in uncomfortable ways where not one family member is safe from the tongue and the sharpness of it. You look at what he did with Maude, looking at this feminist movement, really putting women in position to hold social construct conversations around the dinner table. Well, we never saw that happen. If you look at what happens with Good Times, he took this role of this working class black family and humanized them. He talked about the struggle, but just talked about there is this narrative of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, which just doesn't apply to all Americans. But what that family showed was love. We never seen the working class of loves. And you look at the Jeffersons, you look at like this upward mobility black family to what we call the black tax and the pressure of being in this white space of high economic means where they still can't see past your race. But there is this illusion that because I'm wealthy, then that should transcend race. But what the Jeffersons show that just doesn't.
And Chris, Mike just hit on it. Norman Lear, he wasn't afraid to go after those hot button issues like abortion, sexism, homosexuality. How do you think he was able to pull it off for the American audience?
Well, he combined that candor with comedy. He always made audiences laugh. And for all his feelings about tolerance, understanding, and showing conflict inside families, as we just heard, it was making people laugh that was most important, that allowed him to get his message across. And that was the primary thing for him.
And Mike, Lear was also a political activist. It was sort of the undercurrent of all of the shows that he helped create. He wrote on his 100th birthday, "To be honest, I'm a bit worried that I may be in better shape than our democracy." How do you believe that his political views helped shape some of his work?
You nailed it. It informed his work. Lear was not apologetic about his progressive viewpoints. He came from a family where he said represented all in the family. That was his father. And I think when you write and create with a different lens, you may have an opposing view, you're able to analyze it better because you're removed from the situation, so you can create that nuance.
All right, Chris, and final words from you.
Well, I think he'll always be remembered. As long as people watch these shows, they'll enjoy them, they'll laugh, they'll be moved by him, and that's his greatest tribute, a tribute to his true greatness.
All right, well said. Chris Connelly and Mike Muse. Again, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.